It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday night to you, wherever you may be. Final meeting of the regular season between the Dodgers and the Cardinals. Cardinals have won 4 of the previous 6. Now, you have 2 first-place clubs, the Cardinals in the Central, the Dodgers in the West, each team hungry for pitching. And so what happened? Well, today the Cardinals acquired the services of John Smoltz, the veteran, by way of the Red Sox in Atlanta, and the Dodgers have just signed right-hander Vicente Padilla, who had been with Texas. He'll pitch in Albuquerque this weekend and will open up in the Colorado series. That's a big one next week. Meanwhile, tonight, it'll be Clayton Kershaw trying to win his 9th, 1-0 in his career, pitched a great game against the Cardinals, but was not involved in the decision this year. And for St. Louis, the big right-hander Adam Wainwright, a 14-game winner. He is 2-2 lifetime with the Dodgers. He beat them once earlier this year. So pull up a chair. The Dodgers and the Cardinals will get to it right after this.
Going at it, the Cardinals and the Dodgers, the rubber match between the two here at Dodger Stadium. Let's get to our Lexus pursuing perfection. Last night, another great night for Andre Ethier.
Yeah, double, single, triple, he did it all again. He loves to hit here at home at Dodger Stadium. He's doing it all right now, and that's why he's in that middle of that order where he could do some damage, get some guys on in front of him, and then let it out to play. He's hitting over 500 in his last 6 games, and maybe more importantly tonight, he hits 300, over 300 against Wainwright, so they're going to need him tonight.
And he hits over 500, I should say over 300 against right-handed pitching, and that's what Adam Wainwright is. He's an awfully good right-handed pitcher, and he's got 14 wins. This is a former closer back in 06 when they won the World Series. What do you expect tonight?
Well, I expect another good outing from him. I think it's going to be tough for the Dodgers to score runs, and if they do, I doubt it's going to come on the long ball. They're going to have to string 2 or 3 hits together, but then come up with the big hit when they need it. They haven't been doing a good job of doing that. Last time he threw 8 shutout innings, struck out 8 guys, struck out only 5 guys, gave up 8 hits though. So if the Dodgers can string those hits together, get them all together and score a couple runs in an inning, they could be all right.
It's this guy, Matt Kemp has his bobblehead. We see him, we got him there in the picture. Last time, Manny Ramirez had his bobblehead night. Some good things could potentially happen.
Yeah, all good things happen on your bobblehead night. Matty may go deep, couple hits, whatever it takes to get a win. I like what he said when Eves interviewed him earlier. He said, "What are you going to do on bobblehead?" He said, "We're going to win."
Yeah, that's the most important. Yeah, they have to get this series. It's a tough team against the Cardinals. They've been pretty much owning the Dodgers, but maybe Clayton Kershaw has the stuff tonight. He's going to need it against Albert Pujols and the Redbirds. Vince Scully has the call next on Prime Ticket.
Brought to you by the Teriyaki $6 Burger with grilled pineapple, back at Carl's Jr. And by Verizon, America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers are at home with the St. Louis Cardinals. Final game of the 3-game series and their final meeting in the regular season. The Cardinals so far have beaten the Dodgers 4 out of 6. Under the heading, you never have enough pitching, you certainly put into focus the Cardinals and the Dodgers. The Cardinals lead the Cubs by 6, and they have acquired the services of John Smoltz. And, of course, everybody knows the great Smoltz from all those years in Atlanta. He was the 1996 Cy Young Award winner, an 8-time All-Star. He has a career record of 212 wins, 151 losses, and the Cardinals made a deal with him today, and we understand that John Smoltz will be pitching for the Cardinals Sunday against San Diego. And under that heading, you never have enough pitching, you take the Dodgers. Joe Torre's club, 4.5 games in front of Colorado, 5.5 in front of the Giants, and the Dodgers announced that they have signed Vicente Padilla to a minor league contract. That means he'll go out and work in Albuquerque, and then Padilla, who won 14 victories last year, will be on the mound in Game 1 against Colorado. So you never have enough pitching, but we ought to have some tonight. Here's the Cardinal batting order. Brandon Ryan, the shortstop, followed by former Dodger Julio Lugo at second base. Albert Pujols at first, Matt Holliday in left field. Ryan Ludwig in right field, and Mark DeRosa at third base. Yadier Molina will be behind the plate. They do have one left-hand batter in the lineup, Colby Rasmus, who was down with the flu bug last night, but he's in the starting lineup tonight. Adam Wainwright, a 14-game winner on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw, a record of 8-7, 1-0 in his career against the Cardinals. He was brilliant at the end of July in St. Louis. 8 innings of shutout ball. It wasn't good enough, however, to get a decision. In that game, the Dodgers lost 3-2. However, he certainly put a mark on it. The game went 15. So we're ready, the so-called rubber game. And it'll be Brendan Ryan, Julio Lugo, and then Albert Pujols. Kershaw, both feet on the rubber, waiting for Ryan to check in. Brendan hitting .286. Right hand hitting shortstop, goes after the first one and doesn't get it, and the count 0-1. Ryan, who went to Notre Dame High School in Sherman Oaks, 1 home run, 21 runs batted in. Leading off tonight, he hit in the number 2 slot in each of the first 2 games. The next one to Ryan is a ground ball to the left for call, and Rafael goes back to get it and throws him out. 1 away. Let's take a look at the Dodgers with the leather here in the first inning. Ramirez, Kemp, and Ethier, Blake, Furcal, Hudson, and Loney, and the battery of Martin handling Kershaw. Julio Lugo, who played briefly for the Dodgers back in 2006, hitting .343. He's been a vital contribution as far as the Cardinals are concerned, with a home run, half a dozen runs batted in, and the pitch in for a strike. Skip Schumacher started at second base in each of the first 2 games, but left-hand batters are hitting .182 against Kershaw, so Schumacher sits this one out. Clayton comes back 0-1 with a fastball low and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Temperature 69 degrees. Beautiful summer's evening. Kershaw 1 out here in the first inning, no score. Now Clayton turns on the rubber, and the 1-1 pitch, curveball, and that's low. Lugo holding up. 2-1 the count to Julio. See, young Clayton Kershaw, 21 years old, lost in Arizona, had a bad game there. And believe it or not, he's not lucky. The Dodgers are 12-12 in the games he starts. The pitch to Lugo is low, ball 3. 3-1 the count. Julio facing Kershaw. Came up to the Dodgers in 2006. The 3-1 pitch is swung on, popped up into shallow right center. A trio of Dodgers. The middleman is Ethier to make the catch. So Lugo, a fly ball into right center. Boy, Orlando Hudson was way out there in right center field just in case. And now here is Albert Pujols. One reason the Dodgers have kept the Cardinals quiet is the fact that they've been able to shut down the power plant of St. Louis, meaning Pujols, Holliday, and Ludwig. The trio are just 3 for 22 in the series. And Kershaw's high, ball 1. That would translate into a 136 batting average. Also, the 3 big hitters have just 1 run batted in, and that was Pujols' home run the other night against Charlie Hager. The 1-0 pitch is high and outside, ball 2, 2-0. How does the young 21-year-old do against Pujols? Not so good. Albert is 4 for 7 against Kershaw. That's a .571 batting average. 2-0 pitch on the way, fastball high. No rest for the weary. If he pitches around Pujols, he gets Holiday, and Holiday is 4 for 9, hitting .444 against him. So Kershaw with 2 down, first inning, and the 3-0 pitch, and Pujols swings and hits it foul off first out of play. Certainly with the numbers he puts up, it is no surprise that Tony La Russa would give him the green light. 39 home runs, 105 runs batted in. So 3-1 to Albert Pujols. Now the 3-1 pitch coming up to the first baseman is swung on and missed. 3-2. Pujols last night went 0 for 4, hit into a double play, and did not hit a ball out of the infield. In the first game, he hit 1 ball out of the infield and out of the outfield and into the stands. 3-2 pitch on the way, very high, and Albert draws a 2-out walk. So Kershaw goes all the way with Pujols to walk him, and now Matt Holliday. Holliday has certainly given the Cardinals a lift. They are 16-7 since the day he came back to the National League. Overall batting average .430 with the Cardinals. 5 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Big Matt right-hand batter. Out of his stretch goes Kershaw, and the pitch to Holliday is swung on and missed. 0-1. Albert Pujols does everything well. He is a very big man. He's 6'3", about 230. And if you forget about him, well, he has stolen 11 out of 14. So Pujols takes his lead. Kershaw looks at him, and the strike one pitch to Holliday is swung on and whacked down the left field line, but that's going to go foul. 0-2 the count. So Matt Holliday, the big boy out of Oklahoma, one of the great high school quarterbacks, but he opted to go to baseball. So Matt back up there, no balls and 2 strikes. Impressive looking at 6'4", 235, out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way to Matt. Kershaw ready. Here he comes. Fastball foul back. 92 miles an hour. But of course, at this time of day, it's 7:17 according to the clock on the scoreboard. We still have a powder blue sky, and the lights have really not taken effect. So Holliday back up. A lot of power. Hit as many as 36 for the Rockies. And the strike 2 pitch on the way to Matt. Kershaw delivers high and inside. Ball 1, 1-2. We will always associate Holliday with a home run that he hit here at Dodger Stadium. He hit it over the back wall in the Dodger bullpen, right through where the 3 sisters, the big palm trees, stand. 1-2. Out of his stretch, Kershaw flips to first. Pujols back on the bag, held on by James Loney. So Clayton Kershaw trying to get the Dodgers off in the right direction again after winning last night. And the 1-2 pitch to Matt Holliday is a breaking ball. Check swing, strike 3. Holliday backed off on his heels on the curveball, and he's rung up by Field and Culbreth. No runs, no hits. It'll either go to 3.5 or back to 4.5. They have a 5-game lead over the Giants, and that will change according to win or lose. And here come the Dodgers now against Adam Wainwright, a 14-game winner who is remarkable in a lot of categories and especially on the road. And the first pitch to Furcal is a strike. He is 14-7, but he is 9-1 on the road. 23 consecutive starts. He's worked at least 6 innings. Breaking ball is swung on and missed, a high slider, in the count 0-2. Adam Wainwright is 6'7", about 225 pounds. Born in Brunswick, Georgia, lives in St. Simon's Island in Georgia. And the right-hander deals in the dirt, ball 1. 2 years ago, Adam Wainwright pitched his first complete game against the Dodgers. It was August the 10th, and he lost 2-1. He made 121 pitches. James Loney hit a 2-run home run in the 9th inning to beat him. Wainwright into his windup. Adams 1-2 pitch on the way at the left foot of Furcal, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. Raphael hitting .262 with a half a dozen home runs, 34 runs batted in, hitting .265 right, .261 left. And Wainwright comes back, and he's low with a fastball, ball 3. Earlier in the year, Wainwright had some troubles, and he had to change his mechanics a little bit, and he certainly got himself squared away. Interesting, though, with the 9-1 record on the road, his earned run average is far better at home. 3-2 pitch is a changeup and a one-hopper to shortstop Ryan, and Brendan throws out for a call. The Raphael taps to short, 1 down. Take a look at the Dodger lineup with Furcal, then Kemp and Andre Ethier, Manny Ramirez, Casey Blake, and James Loney, Russell Martin, Orlando Hudson, and Clayton Kershaw. So with 1 out, it is Matt Kemp bobblehead night. A sellout crowd, we understand, and the folks thrilled with their bobblehead, showing Matt holding up 2 hands to the sky after scoring or hitting a home run. And Matt checks in hitting .312 and takes low, ball 1. As far as going up against Wainwright is concerned, Matt Kemp 2 for 5 in the past. 17 home runs, 76 runs batted in, and he takes low. 2-0 the count to Kemp with Andre Ethier on deck. No score, bottom of the first inning. We're just starting. Wainwright staring in. Now Adam ready. His 2-0 pitch on the way is a ground ball to third. In front of it is Mark DeRosa. Kind of sidearms it over to Pujols. Almost threw it away. So 2 down. And the batter now will be Andre Ethier. By the way, in looking at Mark DeRosa, when they were talking to Cardinal players about whether they should get John Smoltz, Mark DeRosa, and Adam Wainwright, both of them in the Atlanta organization, and they both were singing the praises of Smoltz, and so they got him, and John will be pitching for the Cardinals against the Padres. Here's Andre Ethier, and Wainwright's pitch is a curveball. As Ethier falls down, it's foul. No balls and 1 strike. Andre being assisted to his feet by Yadier Molina. Foul ball got him on the right foot, and Ethier has to take it off the ankle and then walk it off. The Dodgers were talking about Vicente Padilla. Larry Boa, coaching at third for the Dodgers, managed the Phillies, as I'm sure you know, and he managed Vicente Padilla in Philadelphia. Randy Wolf, who pitches for the Dodgers, as you know, was a teammate of Vicente Padilla, and they spoke highly of the newcomer. So Padilla will be in Albuquerque, and then he will pitch the first game against Colorado. And as we mentioned, Smoltz will pitch Sunday against San Diego. You never have enough pitching. 0-1 the count to Andre Ethier with Manny Ramirez on deck, 2 down. Wainwright into the windup, and the strike 1 breaking ball drops off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ethier 24 home runs, 81 runs batted in, hitting .285, and has always hit well at Dodger Stadium, better than .300. The 1-1 pitch, and Andre, a check swing, dribbler up along third. Up with it in a hurry is DeRosa, and nips him at first base. Andre all tied up on the pitch and rolls to third. Dodgers go out in order on ground balls, and at the end of an inning, no score. Retiring the Dodgers on ground balls. It took him only 12 pitches, and now Clayton Kershaw will be ready to pitch in the second inning against Ludwig, DeRosa, and Molina. Ryan Ludwig has been shut down pretty much during the series, as we mentioned, and he is 0 for 7 against Kershaw, who changes a curveball but not much of a hump to it. 1 ball and no strikes to Ryan. Ludwig hitting .266, 18 home runs, 74 runs batted in, fastball fouled away, and the count 1-1. Ludwig was the player of the month for July, and he is 1 for 6 in this series. Ludwig had a base hit in the 7th inning last night and scored on a single by Khalil Green. 1-1 pitch is a line drive base hit into left field by a diving Blake. So Ludwig comes up with his first hit against Kershaw. That makes him 1 for 8. And the batter will be Mark DeRosa. Tony La Russa is very high on Clayton Kershaw. As Tony says, he is the real deal. And one thing that really convinced Tony La Russa was the game that Kershaw pitched in St. Louis. And what happened was Albert Pujols was the hitter, and Kershaw, deep in the count, shook off his catcher twice and then threw a fastball and got Pujols. Big curveball to DeRosa in for a strike. And as Tony said, there aren't very many 21-year-olds who would shake off the catcher twice and then come back with a fastball to Albert Pujols and do it with confidence. Tony is sold on him. Kershaw set at about the collarbone, back with a fastball in the dirt. That goes all the way to the backstop screen. Ludwig advances to second on the wild pitch, which, by the way, is the 7th given up by Clayton Kershaw. Though he came with a fastball, usually you expect him to bounce the curve, but that fastball landed right in front of the plate and then kangarooed high over Martin's head. So Ludwig at second, nobody out. DeRosa, Molina, and Rasmus trying to pick him up. Kershaw staring in. DeRosa working the bat back and forth. Now Kershaw out of his stretch and turns and backs off the rubber. 1-1 the count with Ryan Ludwig at second base. We're only in the second inning. No score. DeRosa, a Jersey boy. He's 34 years old. Spent a lot of time in the Braves organization, then with the Rangers and the Cubs. 1-1 pitch is foul back. Talking about the Cubs, Lou Piniella and company will be here tomorrow night, and they will open up a 4-game series. The Dodgers and the Cubs, well, they met on the road, and the Dodgers split 4 at Wrigley. 1-2 the count to Mark DeRosa, hitting only .226. 8 home runs, 15 runs batted in. DeRosa takes down and in for ball 2, and the count 2-2. The classic story about Mark DeRosa's father as a frustrated player who wanted to be a big leaguer and never made it, and his wife saying, "Don't worry, you'll have a son one day who'll be a ball player." And here he is, Mark DeRosa, out of Passaic, New Jersey, and he swings and misses on a high fastball at 93 to blow him away. So Kershaw, with his second strikeout, nails DeRosa. Nothing fancy, he just threw it right by him. And the batter now will be Yadier Molina. So DeRosa, he bites the dust, and here's the catch of Molina, hitting .294, 5 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Molina rested last night. Jason LaRue caught. Molina 5 home runs, 41 runs batted in, fouls it back, and the count 0-1. The younger brother of Ben and Jose Molina from Bayamon in Puerto Rico. Molina well put together, 5'11" and a good solid .225. Been with the Cardinals since 2004. No balls and 1 strike to count. Kershaw right back with a pitch in the dirt, and 1 ball and 1 strike. In November of last year, Molina's father Benjamin was coaching a youth league game in Puerto Rico. Yadier was at the field, and his father collapsed and died from a heart attack. So a heartbreaking moment last year for young Molina. He's 27 years old. Kershaw looked back at Ludwig. Now the 1-1 pitch, and that swung on and hit the deep left field. Ramirez goes back to backhand it. Ludwig, who is halfway to third, goes back to second. So Molina hits it hard and deep, but not deep enough to get Ludwig over. And of course the big at bat was Mark DeRosa. If DeRosa advances Ludwig to third, well, that fly ball picks him up. But instead DeRosa struck out, and it's still no score. And the batter is Colby Rasmus. He was in a bad way to go yesterday, flu symptoms, but come to think of it, center field is not a good spot tonight. You have 2 fellas fighting the flu playing out there. Slow curveball in for a strike. Matt Kemp couldn't play last night. He was down with flu symptoms, and the same with Rasmus. But here they are in the grind tonight. 0-1 to Colby, hitting .259, and of course left-handers are really struggling, hitting .182 against Kershaw. The next one is swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. Rick Ankiel played center field in the first 2 games. Ankiel had a game-winning home run with a man aboard in the 7th. He had a single last night, and now he just draped on the railing watching his replacement Rasmus. 0-2 the count. Colby waiting. Kershaw slow curveball, and Rasmus way out in front of it. Strike 3. Third strikeout for Clayton Kershaw, and at the end of an inning and a half, no score. in the first 2 innings, and we go to the bottom of the second inning. No score. Manny Ramirez, Casey Blake, and then James Loney. Cardinals have done a good job in shutting down Manny in the series. He's batting .309, 13 home runs, 45 runs batted in. And the first pitch off the plate, ball 1, 1-0. But take a look at Wainwright versus Ramirez. Manny is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Wainwright into the windup. Adams 1-1 pitch off the plate, ball 2, 2-0. Wainwright struck out 12 Giants in July, so he can do it. Manny has the count his way, however. 2 balls and no strikes. Wainwright from the first base side of the rubber, and the 2-0 pitch on the hands, fastball foul back, and the count 2-1. Wainwright assumes the same position as Chris Carpenter, the first base side of the rubber. They have a great punch with Carpenter, followed by Wainwright, followed by Pinero. The closer, Ryan Franklin, has 30 saves. 2-1 pitch on the way is taken a little low, ball 3. 3-1 the count. Wainwright, a long look into Yadier Molina. On deck, Casey Blake. Now the 3-1 pitch to Manny Ramirez. Wainwright deals, fastball fouled away off first, well back into what looks like it might be a sellout crowd. 3-2 the count to Manny Ramirez. Adam Wainwright, as a little boy growing up in Georgia, naturally wanted to be an Atlanta Brave. In fact, when he was about 3 years old, he was wearing a jersey with Dale Murphy's number 3 on it. And to his heart's delight, he eventually was signed by Atlanta. 3-2 fastball is swung on and missed. And that was Wainwright challenging Ramirez. He threw it right by him, in on the hands. So Ramirez is blown away on a fastball, and we have 1 out in the second inning. By the way, the fastball clocked 93. So 1 out, second inning, in what should be a wonderful duel. When this series started, you had to believe Chris Carpenter would beat Charlie Hager. It was almost an upset. Blake takes ball 1, but Carpenter did beat Hager. Last night, you had to believe Billingsley was going to beat Boggs, and that worked out. The 1-0 pitch, Blake slices a line drive, grabbed by Pujols for the second out. 2 down. But tonight, with Kershaw and Wainwright, it's anybody's guess. 2 down, and here comes James Loney. So Kershaw resting comfortably in a scoreless battle in the second inning. We told you about James Loney beating Wainwright back in 2007 with a 9th inning home run with a man aboard, and I'm sure neither man will ever forget it. Loney overall hitting .280, 7 home runs, 71 runs batted in. The 7 home runs all on the road. Wainwright ready, delivers, and the first one's in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Wainwright, by the way, has given up more home runs, well, 13, than any of the other starters. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way, and that slap to left field. Coming up in a hurry is Holiday to make the catch, and that's that. So the Dodgers go 1, 2, 3, 6 in a row retired by Wainwright, and at the end of 2, no score. Dodgers and Cardinals, Clayton Kershaw and Adam Wainwright, youngsters of all ages here tonight taking in the ball game, and we hope you'll include us in your plans. Starting tomorrow night, the Phillies will be here. Dodgers concluding, the Phillies, the Cubs. When the Cubs finish, the Dodgers will go out on the road Monday and a big 3 games with Colorado. Adam Wainwright, who is a good hitting pitcher, will start it off. He has 2 home runs this year. And the big guy checks in, and Kershaw ready. Clayton's first pitch to Adam is swung on and missed, and the count 0-1. 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in. He also has 11 hits, including a couple of doubles. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way, and he takes a strike, and the count 0-2. He has 5 home runs in his career, and he has pinch hit 5 times for Tony La Russa this year, but he's 0 for 4 with a sacrifice. This time he grounds it to the right side to Orlando Hudson, and we have 1 away here in the 3rd. You know, the Dodgers' annual celebration of Hispanic culture, food, music, and baseball returns September 5th. Viva Los Dodgers, presented by Coca-Cola and Hyundai. Admission included with your ticket to that night's game at San Diego. Yep, the Padres will be here. So buy now at Dodgers.com/Viva or call 866-DODGERS. 1 out, 3rd inning, no score. And the batter, Brendan Ryan, who grounded to short in the 1st inning. Ryan takes a good fastball at the knees for a strike, and the count 0-1. Kershaw has given up a walk and a single. He has also struck out 3. Clayton comes right back 0-1, and his breaking ball on a check swing, no swing, says Adrian Johnson, umpiring at first. 1-1 to Brendan. Ryan, who has that habit that reminds you so much of Matt Williams, looks like he's going to take a bite out of his left shoulder. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way, and a big slow curveball in for a strike. 1-2. Ryan, a 7th round pick by the Cardinals 6 years ago, and the 1-2 pitch at his feet. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brendan says he's a bit hyper, especially playing baseball. High energy man. 2-2. Kershaw ready. Clayton back with a fastball, rolled up the middle. To his right goes Hudson to knock it down, but that's all. That's a do or die play. You're going away from the play. You're hoping the ball will find its way into the heart of the glove. It doesn't, and it goes as a base hit. Trying to backhand on the dead run. The ball hit the heel of the glove, and Ryan has himself an infield single. So the batter now will be Julio Lugo. Lugo, born in the Dominican, last we checked was living in Brooklyn. Went to Connors State Junior College in Oklahoma. So he's bounced around a bit. Julio waiting, takes the first one a little low, ball 1. Lugo, originally drafted by the Astros, came up with Houston, spent 4 years with them, 2 with the Devil Rays, then the Blue Jays, then briefly with the Dodgers, the Red Sox, and now the Cardinals. 1 ball and no strikes. Kershaw out of his stretch, a look over at Ryan. The next pitch fouled away off of the right. 1-1 to count. Always like to tell the story because normally you hear a ball player talking about the impact his father had on him growing up. With Julio, it was his mom, who was such a hard worker. She left the house every morning at 6:20, walked 36 blocks to work, rain, snow, whatever, and then working from 8 to 4, and then when that was over, she'd pick up again at another job and work from 4:30 to 9. 1-1 pitch is lifted to the right side. Moving over under it is Orlando Hudson. Backs out on the grass and makes the catch for the out. So Lugo pops it up. And with 2 down, it brings up Albert Pujols. We're not going to see Albert for a while, and we figure since this is the last game, we touch on a couple of things that we mentioned the first 2 games of the series. The fact that they always thought he was much older than he really was. In high school, opposing coaches walked him intentionally 55 of the 88 times he came to the plate as a senior. They just thought he was a ringer. Kershaw ready and delivers, and Pujols takes a strike. The 33 times that they did pitch to Pujols, he hit 8 home runs. Albert talks also about growing up in a hurry. When he met his wife-to-be, he was 18. I think she was maybe 20. And she had a baby girl who had Down syndrome. Strike 1 pitch. Albert, a big bouncer foul outside of third and down the line. They were married, and Albert, besides being the good husband and thoughtful father, has devoted his life to helping people with Down syndrome children. Last year he won the Roberto Clemente Award, given to the major league player who best exemplifies the game of baseball. So he lives for others. He's quite a man, besides being an incredible baseball player. Kershaw out of a stretch, looks at Ryan. The strike 2 pitch is instead a throw to first. Ryan diving back on the bag. Ryan has stolen 9 out of 15. With 2 out, it is very doubtful he would cheat Pujols with an at-bat. Ryan checking his first base coach Dave McKay. Albert waiting, hitting .321, 39 home runs, 105 runs batted in. Albert and his wife Dee Dee have spent their lives raising money in the spirits of people with Down syndrome. Here's the strike 2 pitch coming up. Again, another throw to first. We mentioned for a long time Stan Musial was always called the man in St. Louis. Always. So now they call Albert Pujols El Hombre. The strike 2 pitch. And very high. Nice save by Russell Martin. That could easily have been a wild pitch. Pujols was born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, but really grew up right around Independence, Kansas. He was a 13th round pick by the Cardinals at a community college. He and Dee Dee, when they were first married, they were desperately poor, didn't have any money at all. They spent a grand total of $150 on their wedding and honeymoon. Later on, he worked briefly in a country club. He also worked in a pizzeria. Now here he is, a huge star. Unbelievable numbers. All right, Albert back up, 1-2 the count. Kershaw out of a stretch. Another look at Ryan. Back to Pujols, and it's fouled away. Still 1-2. Being so involved in the Down syndrome, every year in St. Louis there's what they call a buddy walk to raise money and awareness for the National Down Syndrome Society, and he's the chairman. Every year one child will ask him to hit a home run, and he's gone 6 for 6. 1-2 pitch, and Pujols grounds it foul outside of third down the line. 1-2 the count. Albert checking the bat for the moment. No score, third inning. Cardinals no runs, 2 hits. Dodgers no runs, no hits. Brendan Ryan standing at first, takes his lead, held on by Loney. And the 1-2 pitch to Pujols. Kershaw ready and delivers curveball, but it stayed up and in. 2-2 the count. Kershaw and Pujols, well, we told you that Pujols was 4 for 7 a walk in the first inning, so he is still 4 for 7. And on deck, another tough hitter in Matt Holliday. 2-2 to Pujols. Kershaw again, a look over at first. Now the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball is low. Dropped out of the mitt of Russell Martin. Slow curveball down. Better you're down than up. 3-2 the count. So quite a confrontation here, and you figure over the years they'll have quite a few. Albert is 29 years old. Kershaw 21. Clayton hides the ball back of his left hip, now out of his stretch. Ryan a cautious lead at first, then goes, and the pitch is a check swing. They'll look, no swing for ball 4. So runners at first and second, 2 down, and Matt Holliday coming up. Earlier we were talking about the home run he hit here against Elmer DeSantis. It was a curveball, and he hit it over the back wall at Dodger Stadium's bullpen. In those days, they didn't have any ivy on the wall. It was a monstrous shot. That was September of 2006. They've really dressed it up now. It's beautiful out there. So here's Matt with 2 on, 2 out, no score, 3rd inning. And the pitch is a fastball high, ball 1, 1-0. Holliday struck out in the first inning. He is 1 for 9 in the series, so he came in here breathing fire, and so far the Dodgers have cooled him off. Kershaw ready. The 1-0 pitch to Holliday is low and inside, ball 2. So Clayton obviously being extremely careful against Pujols. Now he has to do the same thing, walk the same path with Matt Holliday. 2-0 the count to Matt. Kershaw checks Ryan at second, back with a pitch high and tight, ball 3. On deck is Ryan Ludwig. Matt Holliday, in those salad years in Colorado, is high 36 home runs and 137 runs batted in. Here's the 3-0 pitch. They could green light him, and Holliday takes inside, ball 4. So after the single by Ryan up the middle, with 2 out, 2 walks to load the bases, Rick Honeycutt going out to try to help, and the batter will be Ryan Ludwig. Now Ludwig, coming into the game, was 0 for 7 and had struck out 4 of the 7 at bats against Kershaw. However, Ludwig in his first at bat tonight promptly singled to center. So Ryan hitting .364 while they have a big meeting discussing him right this very minute. Ryan Ludwig out of Satellite Beach, Florida, but lives in Las Vegas. He went to school in Nevada. He was the first player since Hideki Matsui and Lefty O'Doul to hit 30 home runs and have 100 RBIs at the age of 30, while having had 750 or less career at bats. I mean, he really blossomed last year, wound up with 37 home runs. Kershaw ready to make his 24th pitch. Ludwig, right hand batter, takes fastball in the dirt, ball 1. So you can understand Kershaw at 21 perhaps trying a little too hard, and one of the things I'm sure Honeycutt told him, take it easy, just rely on your stuff, don't force it. 1-0 the count. Clayton out of a stretch with the bases loaded and 2 out, and the 1-0 pitch to Ludwig is swung on and missed. 1-1 on a breaking ball. So Ludwig, who's a big fella, 6'3", 210, kind of walks away to think it over. Ludwig hit 37 home runs for the Cardinals last year and 113 runs batted in. The 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball, swung on and missed, and a big break on that thing. It was almost in the dirt. So Ryan backs out. Kershaw walking around on the mound. and a 1-2 count. Boy, this crowd is trying to root Kershaw out of the trouble. 1-2 the count. Ryan at third, Pujols at second, Holiday at first. Pitch to Ludwig, swung on and missed. Kershaw had to work hard, but he strands three. La Russa takes a walk and sits down, and at the end of 2.5, no score. They have left 5 men on base, but Kershaw had to work awfully hard. 27 pitch inning, and he's made 59 pitches in 3 innings as Martin takes ball 1. Russell had a very solid July, has cooled off in August. He is 2 for 4 in the series, batting .263. Wainwright ready and comes back, swung on and missed, looked like a off-speed breaking ball. 1-1 the count. Adam Wainwright trying to win his 15th. He was the Cardinal player rep a year ago, so they think highly of him as far as being mentally efficient as well. Another off-speed curveball swung on and missed. Martin almost coming out of his shoes. 1-2 the count. You get fastballs and a changeup, curves and a slider. That changeup, that off-speed pitch from the either straight change or the breaking ball, had really been something for him. Adam looks down the barrel to get a sign. Molina setting a target, and the pitch to Martin, breaking ball low. Molina on his knees, and 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Cardinals sent J.D. Drew and Eli Marrero to the Braves, getting Wainwright, Jason Marquise, and Ray King. Marquise moved on and won tonight for Colorado. Martin pops it up on the right side. Pujols calling, and then Lugo comes over and takes it away. So 1 down. That'll bring up Orlando Hudson. So for Adam Wainwright, he's now retired 7 in a row. Wainwright, in a sense, a late bloomer. He was a tremendous athlete in high school. He was an all-state kicker and a wide receiver. Played basketball with Kwame Brown. He was also an excellent goalie in soccer, and would you believe it, he played football as well. So the big guy into the windup, and the pitch to Orlando Hudson is high. Ball 1, 1-0. However, he was disappointed. In October of 2003, he was among 30 players vying for 24 roster spots on the U.S. Olympic qualifying team, and he didn't make it. Hudson takes low ball 2. He was pretty disillusioned about that. And yet in the 2006 World Series, in relief, in a little more than 9 innings, he struck out 15. Little roller to the right side to Lugo. Julio straightens up and throws him out, and we have 2 down in the 3rd inning. You know, fans can now save big on the Dodgers and Nickelback with a one-of-a-kind rock star pack. You receive a ticket to a Dodger game, a ticket to see Nickelback perform September 3rd, and a limited edition Dodger World Tour shirt, all starting at $35. So you can buy now at Dodgers.com/Nickelback. 2 down. Clayton Kershaw swings, doesn't get the first one, and the count 0-1. Wainwright has retired 8 in a row. 1 ball to the outfield. Loney a fly ball to Holiday. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. 0-2. Of the 8 outs, 4 on the ground. Pop fly and a line drive that Blake hit right at Pujols. Strike 2 pitch is punched up the middle. Ryan a long way to go, but he comes up with it to make the play. So Brendan Ryan chases the ground ball down. Dodgers go out. 9 in a row retired by Adam Wainwright, and at the end of 3, no score. A cheeseburger, a taco, small fries, and a small drink for just $2.99. And by Hankook Tires. Tame the road with Hankook Tires. Time now for our Aflac trivia question. With the Cardinals in town since 1961, who are the only 3 Cardinals pitchers to lead the National League in wins since '61? Well, I know one who'll come to mind right away, but we'll see what you can come up with and give you the answer in a little while. Meanwhile, 4th inning, Adam Wainwright has retired 9 in a row, resting comfortably in the dugout, and he is doing it with a minimum number of pitches. 33 pitches in 3 innings, which on that pace, 99 pitches for the game. Kershaw's the other way. Clayton has made 59 pitches in 3 innings. He's been in constant trouble, struck out Ryan Ludwig with the bases loaded to get off the hook in the 3rd. Cardinals have left 5 men in 3 innings. And now DeRosa, Molina, and Rasmus. This was a very memorable day in baseball history, and it involved St. Louis, but not the Cardinals. It involved the St. Louis Browns. There might be many of you who are unaware of the fact there were 2 teams in St. Louis for a long time. Ball 1 to DeRosa. The St. Louis Browns at the time Their leader was Bill Veeck, an extremely colorful man. The 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike, and Bill got the idea and got away with it. The Browns were playing the Detroit Tigers. The pitcher for Detroit was Bob Cain, C-A-I-N. Curveball hit down the right field line, and that's going to go out of play, so we can tell you the story. Anyway, who came up to the plate for the St. Louis Browns? Then Eddie Goodell, G-A-E-D-E-L. Thing about Eddie Goodell was he was 43 inches tall. Poor Bob Cain, trying to throw a strike to a fellow less than 4 feet tall, walked him on 4 pitches. That was Eddie's only major league appearance. Veeck's idea of playing the midget was legal at the time, but it's later outlawed. But here's the big connection. This is what makes it rather amazing. Here's the 1-2 pitch to DeRosa. And that's flared over first down the line. It's going to drop for a base hit and then kick away. Retrieved there by Epier, so DeRosa will hold with a single. Anyway, the uniform that Eddie Goodell wore, the number on the back said 1/8, 1/8. That uniform belonged to a kid at the time who still has the uniform and is a general partner of the St. Louis Cardinals. And the story comes alive today, 58 years later. So here's Yadier Molina with DeRosa at first in the 4th. No runs, 3 hits for the Cardinals, nothing across for the Dodgers. DeRosa does not have a stolen base. Molina up there, a good hitter who does not strike out. So you have a perfect combination here for hit and run. They're cleaning off another beach ball, so timeout for the moment. Give you an idea of how good Molina is. He has had over 400 plate appearances, and he has struck out 29 times. Kershaw working on Molina and looking over at DeRosa. Raking ball, strike, 0-1. Molina only had 2 at-bats. He was 0 for 2 against Kershaw coming into the game. Fly to left field, so he's 0 for 3. Had a good look at Jose Oquendo down there in the third base coaching box. 0-1. 0-2. Looked like he was trying to take a shot at right field. No balls and 2 strikes to Yadier Molina. Then you have Colby Rasmus, a left-hand hitter, the only left-hand hitter in the lineup. Just off the plate. 1-2. Light breeze blowing out to right field. No score, 4th inning. Wainwright has retired 9 in a row. In direct contrast, Kershaw has been in constant trouble, but for Clayton, so far so good. 1-2. Fastball line down the right field line, foul. So Molina certainly tried to go to right field with the count 0-1. That time he just took the fastball where it was and lined it foul. 1-2. If you reverse that count, if you make it 2 balls, 1 strike, you would certainly be looking for a hit and run. Molina, to try to avoid, he has grounded into 22 double plays. And that's fouled away. So you have a very good contact hitting catcher who runs pretty slow, paying the price of all those squats. Makes contact, doesn't strike out, hits a lot of DPs, so you're always looking for a play. No score, fourth inning. Molina talking to Field and Culbreth, the plate umpire, making Kershaw wait. One and two. Fastball fouled away. So as we said, he is a contact hitter, a little annoyed with himself right now. And he'll take another look at Oquendo. Meanwhile, Mark DeRosa stands at first, nobody out, fourth inning. Curveball foul back. Though he's given him the store, and it's a 1-2 count. No runs, 3 hits for the Cardinals, no runs, no hits for the Dodgers. We're in the top of the fourth. Dodgers have split 26 games with the Central Division. Fastball, and that's whacked into left center field and deep. On the run is Kemp and Ramirez. It will land between them. Manny picks up the ball. Rounding third is DeRosa. The plate is going to go to the backstop. And over to third goes Molina as the Cardinals lead 1-0. Manny Ramirez and Matt Kemp converging in deepest left center field. You had the feeling that that might have been caught, but of course it wasn't. It was so high hit that you figured somebody might be able to get under it. And Ramirez held his hand out as if he thought he was going to catch it. And then he and Kemp kind of brushed together. No real chance at all to get DeRosa. It'll be a double, a run batted in, and then Furcal will draw an error on that wide throw, accounting for Molina's presence at third base. So the Cardinals break through, take a 1-0 lead. 1 ball and no strikes now to Colby Rasmus. The Dodger infield not up. Hudson is back a bit with a left-hand hitter at the plate. Breaking ball, strike. 1-1. Yadier Molina, as he stands at third, fulfilling the definition of a contact hitter. As we said, he only struck out 29 times this year. He had an 8-pitch at bat, 5 foul balls, and then double. 1-2 the count. One run, 4 hits for the Cardinals. Will they finally break through? Rasmus followed by a pretty good hitting pitcher in Adam Wainwright. 1-2 to Colby. 2-2. Colby Rasmus out of Columbus, Georgia, lives at Phoenix City in Alabama. 2-2. Foul back. Colby's father was a very good player. He was a 10th round draft pick, but never moved up. And he's now a coach at Russell County High School. Two and two. Colby's brother Corey was a first-round pick by the Texas Rangers a couple of years ago. What did he do with the bonus money? Bought a nice home for his parents in Phoenix City, Alabama. Down he goes, joining a list of left-hand hitters who find Clayton Kershaw almost unhittable. Remember, left-hand batters were hitting 182 against Kershaw. Rasmus is the only left-hand batter in the Cardinal lineup, and he has struck out twice. 5 strikeouts for Clayton. And now here's Adam Wainwright, who grounded out. The Dodger infield comes up, and then Furcal backs off just a little bit. Ball 1 with the fastball. Wainwright checking. Let's see about him bunting. He has half a dozen sacrifices, but you can't imagine him trying to squeeze in Yadier Molina. At his feet, ball 2. Certainly gives you a nice strike zone. He's 6'7". Oquendo talking to Molina. The pitch count is really piling up on Kershaw because of foul balls, and that's ball 3. The Cardinals have fouled off 18 pitches. The Kershaw has now made 82 pitches, and Wainwright, he's made 33. It's as different as left is to right. On deck, Brendan Ryan. And he walked him. Kershaw putting Honeycutt and Torrey through the ringer right now. Clayton has walked Pujols twice, Holiday once. That kind of makes sense for those 3. But now he walks Wainwright. And with runners at first and third and 1 out, Brendan Ryan coming up. Dodgers, of course, would love to turn a double play here. And for Ryan, he is grounded into 6. But when you talk about double plays, the Dodgers have done pretty well. They've turned 87. The Cardinals lead the major leagues in turning double plays with 114. So Jose Oquendo trying to help Brendan Ryan a little bit with pitch location. Of course, Oquendo was a wonderful player. One of those fellas, when you saw him play, then when you talked to his manager, you knew that one day soon Jose would be involved in coaching, and perhaps one day he'll be a manager. He's from Puerto Rico, and he's 46 years old. Played a long time with the Cardinals. All right, here's Brendan Ryan, grounded to short and singled off the glove of Orlando Hudson. Runners at first and third, 1 out. And a strike. In the inning, DeRosa flared a single to right. Molina, after fouling off 5, had an 8-pitch at bat, double to left center on a ball that, well, you'd have to talk to Ramirez and Kent as to whether one of them should have caught it. Led to the run. 0-1 to Ryan. And line foul over the head of Molina. 0-2. You don't think about it, but especially at this level, you're a runner at third coming down the line, and some of these big hitters, you are defenseless. No balls and 2 strikes. Off speed, breaking ball in the dirt. 1-2 the count to Brendan Ryan. So Kershaw is laboring. He can't continue on this pace at all, making too many pitches, and as we said, far too many foul balls. 1-2. Fastball. Foul ball. This will be as if he needs it. He made 27 pitches in the 3rd inning. And this pitch coming up will be his 29th in the 4th inning, and he's backed up by James McDonald. 1-2 the count to Brendan Ryan. Curve in the dirt, gets away, but the runners hold. Nice block by Martin. 2-2 the count. So Brendan Ryan, who is anything but superstitious, wearing number 13. One out, first and third, a run in. Cardinals lead 1-0. Fastball, foul back. So Kershaw has 5 strikeouts, but it's been a struggle trying to put hitters away. Last year, Ryan hit .261 against left-handers. 2-2. Fastball whacked into center. Base hit. Scoring is Molina. Stopping at second is Wainwright. And the Cardinals lead 2-0. And the batter will be Julio Lugo. So Ryan says thank you after being congratulated by Dave McKay. Remember now, the Rockies won and the Giants won. And the Dodgers are trailing 2-0. So a line drive base hit by Brendan Ryan, a run batted in. Lugo has flied to right and popped up. Curveball for a strike. The DeRosa single. Molina doubled to left center, questionable as to whether it could have been caught. DeRosa scored. Molina went to third on the throw that got by Martin. And with 1 out, Wainwright walks, and then Ryan singles in Molina. And now 1 ball, 1 strike count to Julio Lugo, with the big man Albert Pujols on deck. One and one. Ball 2, 2-1. What's that song? Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Yeah. Well, he lives in Brooklyn. Julio down by the schoolyard. This will be the 35th pitch thrown by Clayton Kershaw here in the 4th inning. Fastball. We mentioned earlier there were 18 foul balls. They're going to double that shortly. That, of course, is maddening for a pitcher. He comes so close and he can't put the hitter away. 2-2. Wainwright at second, Ryan at first, 1 out, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball fouled away. Lugo has always been a battler. He hit .284 for the Red Sox. Came over to the Cardinals. He's hitting .340 for them. Last year with the Red Sox, he hit a solid .268. 2-2. And low, ball 3. So Clayton has almost had it. I can't imagine they would leave him in with Pujols. I think that's what James McDonald is doing, getting ready for Albert. 3-2 with 1 out. Runners do not go. Fastball is lifted to left. Manny coming in. He's about there. So 2 on, 2 out, and here comes Albert. Now let's see. Here comes Joe. It didn't figure that a tiring Kershaw would be allowed to pitch to Pujols. Not while it's still a ball game. It's only 2-0 Cardinals. So Joe will come and get him, and James McDonald will be brought in to pitch to the Big Bird. For Kershaw, he made 97 pitches in 3 2/3 innings, and we'll be back. Kershaw gets into the 4th inning, makes 97 pitches, gives up 2 runs and 5 hits, and the big play was the high fly ball. Do you think it might have been caught? You see Manny hold his glove out, and then you see Matt Kemp on the dead run, and that was a huge play. It scored the run. So the only way to know would be to talk to both of them. But here comes Albert now. 2 on, 2 out, 2-0 Cardinals. Pujols walked twice against Kershaw. And now McDonald. And he promptly hits him with his first pitch. Pujols, all he did was look, never said a word. And now Matt Holliday's coming up. It doesn't make sense to hit Pujols, not when Holliday's coming. There's a fastball that got him right on the left hip. Right there. For James McDonald, that would be the 4th man that he has hit. And that loads him up. And here's Holliday. And almost a wild pitch, ball 1. Holliday 0 for 1 against McDonald. Pujols was 1 for 1. Pujols, by the way, has been hit 7 times this year. 1-1 the count. Adam Wainwright has certainly spent quite a time on the bases. In the dirt, another nice save by Martin. DeRosa singled. Molina doubled to the gap in left center. DeRosa scored. Molina took 3rd on the throw to the plate that got away. Wainwright walked. Ryan singled to drive in the run. And now Pujols hit by the pitch. 2-2. Fouled right into Martin's mask. Two and 2, so the deuces are as wild as they get. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 2-0 Cardinals. And there's a fly ball to right field. Ethier is there. So the Dodgers get out of it cheaply enough. Kershaw is charged with 2, and he'll call it a night. And at the end of 3.5, 2-0 St. Louis. Well, here's some pictures. There is Eddie, 43 inches tall. Can you believe it? In a crouch. And can you imagine Bob Kane, the pitcher? There's also Eddie wearing that uniform number, 1/8. That uniform number belonged to the gentleman who is now a general partner of the St. Louis Cardinals. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-0 Cardinals, and the Dodgers are very fortunate. You realize the Cardinals have left 8 men in the first 4 innings. They could have broken this thing wide open. Here's Furcal, then Kemp and Defield. One problem with the Cardinals, they get men on base, but they're 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Rafael grounded to short in the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Rockies defeated the Nationals 5-4. Jason Marquise won his 14th. Slow curveball, and he held the bat back. 2 balls and 1 strike. Marquise went 6 innings. Clint Barmes hit his 20th home run. And Josh Bard homered for the Nationals. Rockies 5, Nationals 4. And the Giants really had a dandy. Ground ball to Lugo. 1 away. The Giants defeated the Reds 1-0. Nate Scherholz had an RBI double to account for the only run. Barry Zito was the winning pitcher. Zito is now 9-11, and Brian Wilson came in and got the save. So a lot of pressure on the Dodgers. They could very well wind up leading Colorado by 3.5 and the Giants by 4.5 unless they turn this thing around. Matt grounded to third in the first inning on his bobblehead. 1 ball and no strikes. Checking performances on bobblehead night. Casey Blake was 1 for 2 with a walk on his night. And of course, Manny, you may remember, I would think, that pinch hit grand slam on his bobblehead night. And a reminder, there'll be a second Ramirez bobblehead given away on September 16th. Bobblehead, bobble. Fouled away. 2-2. 10 in a row retired by Adam Wainwright. On deck, Andre Ethier. Fouled a good fastball back. That was 93. Adam Wainwright, a couple of years ago, Jason Isringhausen was hurt down the stretch, and he became the closer for a World's Championship team as a rookie. Breaking ball hit to Ryan. Brendan sure gets rid of it in a hurry. 2 down. Remember the trivia question? Well, we were talking about Cardinal pitchers, and we were going back to 1961. Who are the only 3 Cardinal pitchers to lead the National League in wins? Well, to refresh your memory and mention 3 big birds, the one that would always come to mind would be Bob Gibson. Then Juan Tough Dominican, as he called himself, Joaquin Andujar, and Matt Morris. Strike to Ethier. Oh, and 1 to Andre. Oh, and 2. Dodgers are up against a very tough pitcher. Since the All-Star break of 2007, Adam is just one of 6 pitchers in all of Major League Baseball with an earned run average below 3. Oh, and 2. In the dirt. Wainwright is 24. Looks a lot older. He'll be 25 the end of the month. Fouled away. Ethier batting .284, 24 home runs, 81 runs batted in. Got him. Fastball right down the middle, it appeared. So Wainwright, who doesn't have a power people, at strikeout number 2. And at the end of 4, 2-0 St. Louis. Coming up, the Cubs. Lou Piniella and company here Thursday and Friday night to begin what should be a wild weekend. Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and then the Dodgers have the confrontation, the head-on collision with the Colorado Rockies starting Tuesday night. Ball one to Ryan Ludwig. Singled leading off the second, struck out with the bases loaded in the third. 2-0. For those who joined us late, John Smoltz has agreed to join the St. Louis Cardinals, and we understand that John will be pitching Sunday against the San Diego Padres. The Dodgers, meanwhile, signed Vicente Padilla, released by Texas. He had won 8. Padilla will go to the minors to rehab and just brush up, and then he'll make a start in Colorado. There you check. Smoltz has won 212, Cy Young Award winner, 8-time All-Star. Padilla, I can remember so well, is 194. When he broke in with Arizona, Buck Showalter said this man can really pitch. Well, the Dodgers hope he can do it. He's from Managua in Nicaragua. DeRosa struck out and then led off with a single to right field in the 4th inning, and that produced 2 runs. Ground ball to Blake. Two down in the 5th, and the batter will be Yadier Molina. What an at-bat he had in the 4th inning. Molina fouled off 5. It was an 8-pitch at bat, and then he hit that ball into the gap in left center between Kemp and Ramirez, and it led to the 2-run inning. Ball 1. Molina hitting a solid .295. 1-1. Looking at Molina, he's been in 107 games. About 420 plate appearances. 29 strikeouts. Two and 1. Fouled away. Molina not a power hitter. He has 5 home runs. He kisses that metal just about before every pitch. And he drives it to right center. There's nobody there. That's going to go to the other wall, and he'll have himself his 2nd double. So he short hopped the wall in left center. Now he short hops the wall in right center, and that'll bring up Colby Rasmus. Well, Molina with 2 doubles tonight. He has 18 doubles. Rasmus has struck out twice, but each of those at bats was against Clayton Kershaw. And they will take the bat out of his hands, take their best chance against Adam Wainwright. One thing about Wainwright, I mean, we mentioned the fact that he's a pretty good hitter. Do you know, as a rookie, Adam homered on the first pitch of his first career at bat. It was in San Francisco in May of 2006. The old knuckleballer Hoyt Wilhelm did that for the New York Giants back in 1952, and John Montefusco, known as the Count, did it for the San Francisco Giants in 1974. They're the only three relievers to hit their first home run and gain a win in the same game. Adam Wainwright. So here he is, 2 on, 2 out, grounded out and walked. Up and away, but when you're 6'7", nothing is really up. 0-1. Drop that curveball in. 0-2. Remember, the Cardinals have led 8 in the first 4 innings. Little roller. Blake will tag the runner, and that's it. The Birds leave 2 more, and they've led 10 in 5 innings. Cardinals lead the Dodgers 2-0. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-0 St. Louis. The Dodgers no runs, no hits through 4. Ramirez struck out on a 3-2 fastball on the inside part of the plate back in the 2nd inning. Starts him with a breaking ball this time, ball 1. Wainwright against Ramirez. Manny is 0 for 4 against him. Fastball missed. 2-0. Wainwright has retired 12 in a row. And he's behind 3-0 now to Manny, with Casey Blake on deck. Wainwright strikeout to walk, not quite 3-1, but close. That's in there, 3-1. 3-2, fastball up and in. Interesting right now. Wainwright has not given up a walk in his last almost 28 innings. Yet he leads the staff with 53 walks. Slow curveball for ball 4. Whoa, that was close. I think Wainwright thought he might have had it. With a big curveball away, and that breaks the perfect string. There it is. So the walk will bring up Casey Blake. Now Blake has hit the hardest ball so far in previous 4 innings. That was a line drive he hit that was speared by Albert Pujols. So for the first time now, Wainwright pitches out of a stretch. And a strike, fastball. Blake hitting .278. Casey with 13 home runs, 66 runs batted in. Curveball, that's in there. The fastball, curveball, and Wainwright out in front, 0-2. And got him on another curveball. That is the 3rd strikeout for Adam Wainwright. 1 out, and James Loney coming up. Loney, a long fly ball to left field in the 2nd inning. Again, we'll remind you it was 2 years ago, a scoreless battle in St. Louis, and Loney hit a 2-run home run to beat Wainwright and the Cardinals 2-1. Hit the home run in the 9th inning. James hitting .279, 7 home runs, 71 runs batted in. Starts him breaking ball, but not a good break. 1 ball and no strikes. Ground ball to short. Ryan to Lugo, and the club that leads the major leagues in double plays comes up with their 115th. And at the end of 5, it's 2-0 St. Louis.
I didn't know if you wanted it that way or not. Stick mic in the booth, early mic check.
Ho, ho, ho. 1983.
Correct. Mic check when you can.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just made a trade. They traded away Dave Stewart and Ricky Wright to Texas, and they picked up left-hander Rick Honeycutt. He helped the 9 games to help the Dodgers to win the division and go on to lose, however, in '83 to the Philadelphia Phillies. Rick Honeycutt stayed with the Dodgers for 5 years, then moved on to Oakland, and eventually he came back and is now the current Dodger pitching coach. Let's go back to this one. And the last we heard of Dave Stewart, he's a player's agent. And Rick helping the Dodger pitchers. Brendan Ryan hitting .290 with a home run, 22 runs batted in. James McDonald picking up for Clayton Kershaw. Clayton 3 2/3 innings, made 97 pitches. And as we mentioned, the foul ball just really took a lot out of him. 2-1 the count. In 3 innings, Clayton Kershaw made 59 pitches. In 5 innings, Adam Wainwright has made 59 pitches. Chopper to Blake. One down, and Julio Lugo coming up. Lugo's hit the ball in the air. Flied to right, popped to second, flied to left. On deck, Albert Pujols. Fouled away. Lugo batting .329. Six feet 1, maybe 170 pounds. 1-1. Two runs, 6 hits for the Cardinals. No runs, no hits for the Dodgers through 5. By and large, you don't really put too much emphasis on no hits until you get to the 7th inning. 1-2. Fastball pulled back a third. Fair ball dropped by Casey. No play. So we'll see how they rule it. And it will be E5. The Lugo reaches on the error charge. Nice backhand pick, and then Casey let it get away. So Blake draws the error, and now here's Pujols. Pujols walked in the first, walked in the third, and was nailed on the left hip by the first pitch from James McDonald. So this will be a second confrontation. Starts in breaking ball strike. 0-1. Remember when McDonald was pitching up at AT&T Park against the Giants, he hit, actually grazed Pablo Sandoval, but the umpires did not rule it a hit batter. There was a brouhaha over it. 0-2 the count. Curveball, fastball, and that fastball clocked at 95. Albert hitting .321. And down he goes. So Messrs. Pujols, Holiday, and Ludwig have really been shut down, and it continues tonight. They were combined 3 for 22. Pujols is 0 for 1, so 3 for 23. Holiday is 0 for 2, 3 for 24, and then Ludwig is 1 for 3. And that's in the air, foul, curling back into the crowd. 0-1 the count. And that trio of Pujols, Holiday, and Ludwig still have collectively 1 run batted in, and that was a home run in game 1. Albert Pujols lined a knuckleball into the left field stand. And despite doing a great job in stopping the power plant, the Dodgers still split 2 and are behind in game 3. 2-1 to Matt Holliday. Struck out, walked, fly to right. And a fly ball. Kemp started back. Now moves over. So no runs, no hits, and Nara and a man left. And at the end of 5 1/2, Cardinals 2, Dodgers nada. Blake hit a line drive speared by Albert Pujols, and the Dodgers still looking for their first hit. It will be Russell Martin, Orlando Hudson, and then a hitter, I would assume, for James McDonald. And popped up on the left side, Brendan Ryan. 1 away on 1 pitch. We're going to put the freeze frame on what is the big play of the night. That's Molina after fouling off 5. And here's where the ball lands. Ramirez with the glove out, and then he and Kemp brush together. The run comes over. You'd really have to talk to Manny and to Matt Kemp, not to Molina. He was running. There's a hard ground ball, base hit. So it comes with 1 out in the 6th inning, and it belongs to Orlando Hudson. This big crowd has been forced to sit on its hands, and Juan Pierre will give them a reason to move the hands. So Orlando a base hit, and Pierre coming up. Pierre started in last night's game when 1 for 5 with a double. Juan Pierre hitting .319, 26 runs batted in. Coming off the bench, he's had 9 for 28. So he's done very well, and of course you know he's done exceptionally well in a starting role. Cardinals lead 2-0 and ball one. If you're Tony La Russa, however, you have to be very unhappy. Cardinals have left 11 men in 6 innings. They could have broken this thing wide open, and they have failed to do it. And ball two. Wainwright walked his first man when he walked Ramirez in the 5th inning. Eventually got Loney to ground into the double play. 2-0 Cardinals, bottom of the 6th. Heats on the Dodgers. Both the Rockies and the Giants won. Big bouncer to Pujols. No play at second, so he's on the bag. 2 down, and Rafael Furcal coming up.
Number 15, Rafael Furcal.
So the Dodgers with a runner at second and 2 out. Rafael Furcal grounded to short and grounded to second. 0 for 2, hitting .260. Slow breaking ball for a strike. Furcal with 34 runs batted in. James McDonald certainly did well in picking up for Clayton Kershaw. One and one. Slider right down at Rafael's left foot. Always think of that great slider Steve Carlton had. If you were a right-hand batter, his slider was very dangerous. It could break your ankle. Pulled foul. 1 and 2. Furcal came into the game hitting better than .500 against Wainwright. He was 7 for 13. Now he is 7 for 15. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball fouled away. Wainwright, very much of a competitor. We talked about what he did as a rookie in '06. But he also bit the bullet, never told anybody about it. But he pitched a bunch of innings with tendinitis in 2007. Most of that year. Breaking ball, 2 and 2. Yadier Molina talking to him. Last year, Wainwright was on the DL. He sprained the middle finger of his right hand. Two balls and 2 strikes. Hudson at second base, the only Dodger to get that far, and the only Dodger with a hit so far. Deuces wild. Ball 3. On deck, Matt Kemp. Rafael Furcal has walked 47 times, struck out 69. So in his role as a leadoff man, trying to get aboard any way he can. 3 and 2. Breaking ball, a comebacker. And the lob to Pujols, and that's it. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. at the end of 6, 2-0 Cardinals. Is through 6 innings, though he's been sailing along, averaging just a hair under 12 pitches an inning. The only base hit allowed, a single up the middle by Orlando Hudson, who is also the only Dodger to get as far as second base through 6 innings. So in the 7th inning, the Cardinals will be facing Ronald Belisario. So it's been Kershaw 3 2/3, McDonald 2 1/3, and now Belisario. Ryan Ludwig singled to center, struck out, fly to right. The strikeout hurt. He struck out with the bases loaded back in the 3rd inning. Fastball strike. Cardinals have left 11 men in 6 innings. Twice they've left the bases loaded. 2-1. Tomorrow night, the Chicago Cubs, Tom Grossolani and Jeb Weaver. Game 1 of the 4-game series. Fouled away. The Dodger pitching for the Cubs series. Weaver tomorrow night. Randy Wolf Friday night. Knuckleballer Charlie Hager Saturday afternoon. Chad Billingsley Sunday afternoon. Billingsley, who turned in a gem last night, going a strong 6. And Charlie Hager sitting alongside of him. 2-2. 3-2 the count to Ryan Ludwig. Martin has spent the whole night in the dirt. And strike 3 called. Ludwig thought surely that was ball 4. Fielding Culbert disagrees. One out in the 7th inning. So Ludwig thoroughly frustrated, having struck out twice, 1 for 4. Now Mark DeRosa. Right. DeRosa struck out, single to right, grounded to 3rd. He led off the 4th inning, and that's when the Cardinals scored their 2 runs. Another strike. Belisario hitting 93 consistently. 0-2. Saturday, Belisario reinstated from the DL. He missed 28 games with a strained right elbow. He's throwing hard. This would be his 5th appearance since he returned. Two and two. Fouled away. Belisario is one of the great stories of the year. You talk about being unheralded. I mean, he arrived in camp way back in spring training and nobody had really heard anything about him. And now he's a workhorse. Look out. I've got the bat, thank goodness. It was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Just kept running in. Check swing. Hit the bat. And Mark is still there. 2-2. DeRosa went to the University of Pennsylvania. He also is working on a marketing degree from the Wharton School of Business. And he played a lot of football. And he lifts one. And Orlando going out and makes the catch. You know, kids can train for the big leagues on the field here at Dodger Stadium during Junior Dodger training days tomorrow or Friday. Children 7 to 12 learn baseball skills from coaches and players and receive a free Dodger jersey. So to book your spot, visit Dodgers.com/Junior Dodgers or give us a call 323-224-2646. Ball one. 2 down in the 7th inning. Yadier Molina flied to left, had a great at bat, 5 fouls, 8 pitches, doubled in the 4th inning, and then doubled his last time up. His double to left center is the key to the game. The double to right center was wasted. One ball and 1 strike. Ball 2. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th inning, they'll have Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, and Manny Ramirez. They are 0 for 5 amongst them. 2-1. And that's popped up. Orlando's going out to get that one. So the Cardinals go 1-2-3 at the end of 6 1/2, 2-0 St. Louis. The crowd will stand for the singing of God Bless America, and then it'll be Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
fielder, number 27, Matt Kemp.
2-0 in favor of the Cardinals, and it figured to be a tough one tonight. As we mentioned earlier, it certainly figured the Cardinals would win game 1. It certainly looked like the Dodgers would win game 2, but tonight up in the air as Kemp fouls it away. 0-1 the count. Of course, that's the charm of this game. You think you'd have it figured out, and it'll blow up in your face. It'll be interesting what Matt Kemp does. He is 0 for 2 on his night. Grounded to third, grounded to short. Wainwright has got 9 ground balls. 0-2. Adam Wainwright came in 14-7, but more importantly, a rather amazing record on the road. Adam Wainwright this year 9-1 on the road. He's in the 7th inning. He's had 24 consecutive starts where he's gone at least 6. 1-2. He went 5 1/3 innings before he allowed the only base hit, a clean single by Orlando Hudson. Hudson got to second, the only Dodger to get that far. 1-2. Two and two. Trying to get Kemp to go after that low breaking ball. Matt with 17 home runs, 76 runs batted in, and a .310 batting average. 2-2. Just did get that slider, just a little bit of it. Still 2-2. Fastball hit in the air to left field, all right at Holiday. So a whole bunch of curveballs, one slider, and then the fastball, and Matt flies to left, one away. Now Andre Ethier. Ethier grounded to third and was called out on a check swing for strike 3 in the 4th inning. Andre, 24 home runs, 81 runs batted in. That's off the plate, ball 1. Manny Ramirez on deck. Fastball on the hands. Not throwing as hard as he was earlier. That fastball at 87. 1-1. And a breaking ball, big curve. 1-2. Wainwright has had such great control. He's only walked 1. He came into this game leading Cardinal starters with 53 walks. 1-2. And a breaking ball is hit to right center, and that's deep. And that one is gone. And Andre Ethier hits one over the right center field wall, and the Dodgers finally get on the scoreboard. But the Cardinals lead 2-1. "25 home runs, 82 RBIs. He got a curveball, and he was so strong he could hit it out. Rasmus just watching it clear the wall. So Ethier wakes up the Dodger offense a little bit, and now Manny Ramirez will be the hitter for Adam Wainwright. That would be the 14th home run that he has allowed this year. And once more with feeling, you hear Manny. Fastball for a strike. He struck Manny out on a fastball on the inside part of the plate back in the second inning. Then he walked him in the fifth. Another fastball and another strike. Again, the fastballs I've leveled off to 87, but it was the curveball that Ethier hit out. 2-1 Cardinals, seventh inning. Another fastball, 1-2. Now that fastball he got to 92. Most pitches in an inning for Adam tonight, 15 back in the fourth. Fastball, fly ball to right. Ludwig a long way, but he's there now. Two down in the seventh inning. Certainly one little trend, and it's only a small trend, but as the game has progressed now, as fatigue I'm sure begins to enter the picture a little bit. Remember, we were talking about all the ground balls that Wainwright had gotten. Suddenly here in the seventh inning, Kemp a fly ball to left, Ethier a home run to right center, Ramirez a fly ball to right. Here's Blake. Ball one. Cardinals 2 runs, 6 hits. Dodgers 1 run, 2 hits. Cardinals have left 11 men in their 7 innings. They left 8 in the first 4 innings. Missed inside. Cardinals have been in 26 one-run games, and they're 2 games above 500. Fouled away. Cardinals are under 500 in one-run games on the road. Meanwhile, the Dodgers in one-run games at home have won 17 of 22. Two and two. And a drive to left. I should say the balls are going up and out. And we have a brand new ball game. Sudden, Adam Wainwright is not getting the ground balls, and you had the feeling sooner or later. Ethier homers after 2 fly balls. Blake homers to tie it up. And in the Cardinal dugout, I'm sure all they can think of is the fact they've left 11 men on base. Ball 1 to Loney. Another breaking ball. So Ethier hit a curveball for a home run to right center. Blake takes him to left field, and it's 2-2. Fastball hit down the left field line, slicing and going foul. Cardinals got 2 runs in the 4th inning, and it was 2-0 with 1 out in the 7th. plate talking to Mark Loretta. Andre Ethier hit the other home run like the other cufflink as they flank Mark. 1 ball and 1 strike to Loney. Check, no swing, says Gary Cederstrom. 2-1 to James. Fastball whacked down the right field line in there, and Loney is on his way for a double. So where the 2 home runs were on breaking balls, Loney hits a fastball, and you gotta believe Wainwright is tiring, and Dave Duncan, the pitching coach, going out there. Another somewhat shocking note on the home runs by Ethier and Blake. Wainwright had allowed just 1 home run in his last 80 innings. And here in the 7th inning, he gives up 2. It's not like he has worked that hard, but when the ball started to come up, when Kemp hit the fly ball, then Ethier the home run, then Ramirez the fly ball, especially after all the ground balls we saw for 6 innings. And now he's in trouble. It's not only 2-2, it's a 23-pitch inning for him, and the Dodgers have a chance to break the tie with Loney at second, 2 out, and Russell Martin. Martin popped up to second, popped up to short, hitting .262. Again, remember, just to add a little spice to the game, both the Rockies and the Giants already won today. Fastball, strike. That fastball in the 80s. Loney at second, 2 out in a 2-2 tie. Fastball, strike. But 0-2 the count to Russell Martin. 2 out, 2 in, 2-2. On deck, Orlando Hudson. Loney a tiebreaker at second. Long look by Wainwright. One and 2. Off the plate, 2-2. Slider way off. Seemed like in watching close-ups that Wainwright shook off Molina just before the pitch he made to Andre Ethier. Looked like the only time we saw him say no. 2-2. Fastball grounded to Pujols. He'll feed Wainwright. So the Dodgers get 2 home runs and a double, and they get even on home runs by Ethier and Blake. And we head to the 8th in a 2-2 tie as Andre goes over the right center field wall and Casey puts one into the left field pavilion. Wainwright made 28 pitches, but watch this close-up as Wainwright looks in to Yadier Molina and then pitches the curveball to Andre Ethier. The pitch before, watch him now, that's when he said no. That's the rare time I've seen him shake Molina off. And then I guess Molina wanted the fastball, he wanted the curve. It's the old story. The catcher suggests, and the pitcher, it's his game. And Ethier hit that low curveball over the right center field wall. Then Blake got a curveball, but there was no shake off, and Casey hit that curve into the left field stands. So into the 8th we go, 2-2. Wainwright will be following Colby Rasmus to the plate, and Hung Chi Kuo comes out of the pen. Kuo almost 2-1, strikeouts to walks. Rasmus has struck out twice. Dodgers keep left-hand hitters on the bench by bringing in Kuo. That's a strike. Thurston, Ankiel, and Schumacher all hit from the left side. 2 right-hand batters available to La Russa, Green and LaRue. 0-1. 0-2. Rasmus in the lineup against Clayton Kershaw, the only left-hander in the lineup. And you know, Kershaw's been eating up left-hand hitters. They were batting 182 against him, and Rasmus struck out twice. 0-2. 1-2. Ankiel played center field last night, went 1 for 4, and had the game-winning home run in the 7th inning of the first game. 1-2 to Colby. 2-2. Adam Wainwright to follow, and then the shortstop, Brendan Ryan. Dodgers use Kershaw, McDonald, Belisario, and Kuo. Fastball, see you later. So Colby Rasmus strikes out 3 times, and now Wainwright's going to be called away, and they will use one of their 2 right-handed hitters, Khalil Green. So Wainwright pitched so well until he ran into the 7th. Khalil Green played third base last night, went 1 for 3 and knocked in a run. So Wainwright goes out, can't lose, could win, or it might have been all for naught. Kyle McClellan, a right-hander, is up in the pen. Fastball popped up, and there's Orlando. The Green didn't hang around, and the batter will be Brendan Ryan. Brendan Ryan grounded to short, singled off Orlando's glove in the 3rd inning, singled to center in the 4th to drive in a run, and grounded to 3rd. I remember asking Matt Williams one time, why did you bite your shoulder when you hit? Matt said, I have no idea. I don't think Brendan is really that conscious of it either. Right. 1-1. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Cardinals. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Cardinals have scratched for 2 and left 11. The Dodgers 2 swings of the bat by Ethier and Blake. And a high fly ball into deep left center. Kemp to the wall. can't make the play. Ryan is going to keep on going, and he will be at third, standing up with his third hit. I think Brendan thought when he first hit it, it might have gone out. For Ryan, that is his fifth triple. He runs very well. So a 2-out triple. Kemp that close to catching it as he hits the pads. So the batter will be Julio Lugo. Lugo is 0 for 4. Fly to right, popped to second, fly to left, reached on an error. Cardinals are 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Now Wainwright could get a decision if they can get Ryan home. Now, they've already left 11. And nice save by Martin, which brings up the point. Hung-Chi Kuo has 2 wild pitches. Big crowd seeing a dandy of a game. Paid attendance 54,847, a sellout. Fastball strike. On deck, of course, is the fellow that Kuo doesn't want to see. Nobody really wants to see him. Albert Pujols. Pujols 1 for 3 in the past against Kuo. 1-1 to Lugo. Ball 2. Lugo is 0 for 1 in the past against Kuo. Hung-Chi Kuo made 9 pitches, pitched the 8th inning of game 1, and retired the side in order. He struck out Pujols the only time he faced him. 2-1. 2-2. So it's a huge at-bat for Lugo with Ryan a tiebreaker at third. It's a big at-bat for Wainwright and for the crowd. Deuces wild to Lugo. Check swing, got it. No runs, 1 hit, a 2-out triple, and a man left. Still 2-2. Are fully aware that Colorado beat Washington 5-4 behind Jason Marquise, and the Giants beat the Reds behind Barry Zito. So the Dodgers must win to maintain a 4.5 lead over the Rockies and a 5.5 lead over the Giants, and it will change one way or another depending on the outcome of the game. Kyle McClellan, a right-hander, pitching now to Orlando Hudson. And ball one. Hudson has grounded out and singled. McClellan is a big boy from Missouri, from Florissant, Missouri. He's 6'4", 205-pounder. That's a strike. McClellan's father owns a 15,000 square foot training facility called the Fieldhouse Baseball and Softball Training Center in St. Louis. Ball two. And during the off season, he works very, very hard teaching youngsters. And as he said, they have saved quite a few kids by getting them involved in training properly in baseball. In fact, Kyle was talking about one kid. He said, I hammered him. My dad hammered him. Then the other kid. And finally, the two boys got their grade averages up to 3, and they went on to play ball in college. And as McClellan says, to me, that's why I'm here. Meanwhile, he's 3-2 to Hudson, bottom of the 8th in a 2-2 tie. Orlando batting .295. And ball 4. Well, the old adage you've heard all your life, waste not, want not. And for Tony La Russa, trained as a lawyer, he does not have a chance to rest his case tonight. They've left 12, have the Cardinals, in 8 innings. Tony Abreu is now going to come up and bat for Hung-Chi Kwo. Dodgers use Juan Pierre, who grounded sharply to Albert Pujols. Brief meeting. So Pierre sitting quietly, deep in thought as Abreu checks in. Tony hitting .250. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Jonathan Broxton warming up. Tony was up, then he went down, then they sent him back up today from AAA. Shows bunt, bunt's foul. 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Dodgers trailed 2-0 after the 4th inning, and then broke through on the home runs by Ethier and Blake. 2 curveballs jumped up and bit Adam Wainwright. And now the Dodgers trying to get something going in the 8th. Left-handers hit .238 against McClellan last year. Hudson over there at first deserves a watch because he has stolen 7 out of 8. 0-1 to Tony Abreu. One ball and 1 strike, so they took the bunt off on that pitch. Joe Torre, the great Cardinal, MVP, managed the Cardinals, fired as the Cardinal manager, and succeeded by Tony La Russa. 1-1. Dodgers would like to get on the board here in the 8th, because when the Cardinals come up in the 9th, they have Pujols, Holiday, and Ludwig. One and 2. So Abreu tried to bunt the first pitch, fouled it off. They've taken the bunt off, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count. arrived at an off-speed, a curveball, and down goes Abreu. So 1 out, the lack of the bunt, and Hudson is still at first. Here's that goose up there and down there. The batter now, Rafael Furcal, against Adam Wainwright. Furcal was shut down, grounded to short, grounded to second, hit back to the box. The entire infield coming up, and no doubt talking about Furcal, and among other things, that running bunt that he has. They also have to worry about Hudson, who has stolen, as we said, 7 out of 8. McClellan, as Hudson talks to Mariano Duncan, McClellan is also a pitcher who paid the price. 4 years ago, he underwent Tommy John surgery. And he had more surgery 3 years ago. In the dirt, nice save by Molina. New ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Furcal staring at Larry Boa. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Cardinals. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers, who didn't get a man on base until Ramirez walked in the 5th inning tonight. That's a strike. 1-1. The 12 left on by the Cardinals. The Dodgers have only left 2. 1-1. Wainwright and McClellan. The Dodgers with Kershaw, McDonald, Belisario, Quo, and soon Broxton. Ground ball to third. They go low to Lugo. Makes a good turn, but then bounces it. Julio was in such a hurry to get out of there and didn't have much on the throw. Remember, this is a club that has turned more double plays than anyone else in the major leagues. And Lugo, by the time he crossed the bag, he was pretty far away. So that keeps the inning alive. And Matt Kemp, the bobblehead boy, coming up. Two out for a call at first. 2-2, bottom of the 8th. Ball 1. On deck, Andre Ethier. And 2-0. Pujols gesturing to somebody in the Cardinal dugout. Now back on the bag. And a high fly ball, very playable. Crowd's looking at it with their hearts. So a fly ball, a man left, and at the end of 8, Cardinals 2, Dodgers 2. a man in the 7th inning because they didn't get anybody on. That was the only inning in which they've been retired in order. That's when Ludwig struck out and both DeRosa and Molina popped up. And the big guns, as we have mentioned, have been completely silenced all during the 3-game series. Certainly a tribute to the Dodgers as Ludwig tries to stretch with that mohawk haircut. Isn't that something? Jonathan Broxton will be pitching to Albert Pujols, Matt Holliday, and then Ryan Ludwig. Pujols, Holliday, and Ludwig. They're the trio that really make the Cardinals go, and they're not going. They are 4 for 30 in the series. That's collectively a 133 batting average, and together they have 1 run batted in, and it was Albert's home run against Charlie Hager in Game 1 of the series. Can they be stopped again? Well, that'll be up to Broxton. Last night, Broxton came in and struck out Holliday and Ankiel, and he was in the first game, and he struck out Ludwig and Ankiel. So now he gets Pujols and vice versa. Right. Broxton and Pujols. Albert is 1 for 11 against him. 2-2 in the 9th. One ball and 1 strike. Considering the fact that the two teams lead their respective divisions, you can understand there is a definite playoff feeling throughout the 3 games. 1-1 to Albert. Fouled away, 1-2. Pujols has had 100 RBIs ever since 2001. The other fellas who had anything like that are in Cooperstown: Joe DiMaggio, Al Simmons, and Ted Williams. .538 home runs. He has tied a famous St. Louis resident, Yogi Berra. 2-2. Albert, as we pointed out, 39 home runs, and he has only struck out 48 times. Little squirter foul ball. That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and he cued that thing up along first. In 2006, Albert Pujols had 49 home runs and struck out a total of 50 times. Ball 3. Pujols has walked 88 times. In fact, he's been intentionally walked 36, and Matt Holliday blowing bubbles on deck. Three and 2. And in the dirt for ball 4. The Pujols has walked 3 times and been hit by a pitch tonight. Certainly one way to slow the Cardinals down. And now Holliday, who is 0 for 3 with a walk. Holiday against Broxton. 2 for 13. Fastball missed, ball 1. Holiday struck out against Broxton last night in the 9th inning. Holiday singled, little ground ball up along third after bruising his toe with a foul ball in the 9th inning of the first game with Broxton. Ball 2. On deck, Ryan Ludwig. Big John 7-0, 26 saves. And ball 3. Now Holiday is a fella with a lot of power. A lot of power certainly when he was with the Rockies, when he hit as many as 36. So you don't take a 3-0 count for granted with Matt. There goes Pujols. And it's a strike. The throw down gets away, shallow right center, and Albert Pujols is going to third. Boy, what a surprise. Pujols going on a 3-0 pitch. So Tony trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and he has a 3-1 count to Holiday. It'll be a stolen base for Pujols. We were mentioning earlier that he's a surprise. He's now stolen 12 out of 15, and there'll be an error charge to Martin as he bounces the throw to Orlando. Now 3-1 to count. The infield halfway on the left and just about halfway on the right. And a high fly ball to Matt Kemp. He's going to catch it, but Pujols is going to tag up and come in, and the Cardinals take a 3-2 lead. So Albert Pujols stealing on a 3-0 pitch, got a bonus on the overthrow, and comes home on Holiday's fly ball. He's something. The batter is Ryan Ludwig, who single, struck out, flied to right, and struck out. Three runs, 7 hits for the Cardinals, 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors for the Dodgers. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 9th inning, they have Andre Ethier, Manny Ramirez, and Casey Blake. Slider, 0-2 to Ludwig. Ludwig had a great July. They've cooled him off so far in August. Struck out twice tonight. 0-2. Down he goes again. So Ludwig has really stopped dead in the water, and that's one reason why it's been a tough series for the Cardinals. And with 2 down, the batter is Mark DeRosa. DeRosa struck out, single to right, rounded to third, popped up, scored a run. time. DeRosa, everybody looks in the outfield for the beach ball. And ball one. So Broxton gives up a tough run here in the ninth, and the Cardinals lead 3-2. Mark DeRosa, 3 years a quarterback at the University of Pennsylvania. Good one. And ball two. Mark got into Penn, he said, from academics and football. Then he played in the Cape Cod League, and that's when baseball took over his life. 2-0. Hard ground ball smothered by Blake, up, and Adam throws him out. So the challenge is on the table for the Dodgers. The Giants have won, the Rockies have won, and Albert Pujols has put the Cardinals ahead 3-2. The Dodgers faced a similar challenge in the 7th inning. If you remember, with one out, Andre Ethier, the hitter, Wainwright shook off Molina, came with a curveball, and Ethier cleared the right center field wall. Having been stung once, he faced Casey Blake with a curveball, and Casey hit that in the pavilion. And now it'll be Ethier, Ramirez, and Blake again, only this time there's no more innings if they don't produce. Ethier grounded to third, struck out, and homered, facing a former Dodger, Dennis Reyes. Dennis, from Higuera de Zaragoza in Mexico, was signed by the Dodgers in 1993. Came up in 1997 and proceeds to hit Ethier. And the Dodgers have the tying run on one pitch. How do you do? Well, Tony's idea would be to have Reyes get Ethier and then bring in his ace reliever. Instead, Reyes messes up. Got him right on the leg. So here comes Tony, and there goes Reyes. A quick adios. There were those who thought Dennis Reyes reminded them of Fernando Valenzuela. Not quite. So Dennis goes out on one pitch, and now the Dodgers have Ramirez, Blake, and Loney. Ryan Franklin with 30 saves will be coming out of the bullpen to try and save this one, and we'll be back. Bring in left-hander Dennis Reyes against Ethier. Reyes holding left-hand batters to about a .250 batting average, but Dennis hits him, and now the entire scenario has changed. And Ryan Franklin, who has given up 2 home runs this year, and I'm sure you're thinking about that, he'll be facing Ramirez and Blake. Franklin came in the first game of the series, and he came in to pitch to Manny Ramirez and got him to pop up. So this is the second time they will confront each other, and you can see Manny has pretty big numbers. Ethier at first, 3-2 Cardinals in the 9th. And Franklin ready to go to work. He's out of Fort Smith, Arkansas. Ryan Franklin. Fastball for ball 1. 6'3", 190. Originally signed with the Mariners. Came to the Cardinals in '07. One and 0 to Manny. Struck out, walked, flied to right. Franklin, among other things, pitched in the Sydney Olympics as a member of the U.S. team. Picked up 3 wins, a gold medal, as they beat Cuba. 1 ball and no strikes. Foul back, fastball in on the hands. That's the pitch that Wainwright used to strike out Ramirez in the 2nd inning. Franklin, in looking at what he has done, his earned run average is 1.1, and his strikeout to walk ratio is 3-1. So the faithful are waiting for Manny. 1-1. Another fastball. 1-2. Big crowd, many of whom are standing. 54,847. I should say this feels like a playoff game. Kershaw, McDonald, Belisario, Quo, and Broxton, Wainwright, McClellan, Reyes, and Franklin. Fastball, 2-2. Ethier, the tying run held on by Pujols. Matt Kemp's bobblehead night, that went 0 for 4. Rafael Furcal, 0 for 4. 2-2. Fastball broken back. Little ground ball. Ryan had to wait for the bat and then throws him out. Boy, was that a tough play for Brendan Ryan. That bat was coming at him and he had to wait to get out of the way of the bat. And Brendan made a wonderful play. Watch this. Never mind the ball. Here comes the bat if you're the shortstop. Ryan has to duck that runaway airplane propeller and just did get Ramirez. But the tying run is now at second with one out. And the batter is Casey Blake. It also takes away from the Cardinals their favorite weapon. Remember, they induced Loney to hit into a double play in the 5th inning, and the Cardinals lead the major leagues in turning double plays. But now the broken bat ground ball takes away a force. Manny talking to Juan Castro, and the batter will be Casey Blake. Blake lined out to first, struck out, and then hit a curveball into the left field seats for a home run. Blake is 6 for 11 in the past against Franklin. Ball 1. That's over 500, 545. One and 0 the count. You may remember Blake made the last out in game 1 against Franklin, a long fly ball to deep left center. A little pop fly to the left side. It's the shortstop Ryan. So the Dodgers now down to their last out, and the batter is James Loney.
First baseman, number 7, James Loney.
Loney tonight flied to left, hit into a double play, and then double to right on the heels of the home runs by Ethier and Blake. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Cardinals, 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Dodgers had not left a man on in the first 6 innings. They left a man on in the 7th and in the 8th, and they had the tying run at second with 2 out in the 9th. The Cardinals left 12. Off speed, slow curve, ball 1. Franklin has a lot of pitches. Fastball and slider. He has a splitter, curveball, and a change. Last year, he also had kind of a knuckleball. And ball 2. On deck, Russell Martin. And this crowd remains on their feet, the majority of them. 54,847. A whopper. 2-0 to James. And a strike. 2-1. Cardinals scored 2 in the 4th inning. Dodgers tied it on home runs by Ethier and Blake in the 7th. Cardinals got a run in the 9th because Albert Pujols stole second on a 3-0 pitch. Fastball for a strike. So it figured tough ball game, and we go right down to deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Tying run at second, and the Cardinals lead 3-2. in the dirt. Nice save by Molina. 3-2 to Loney, and Russell Martin waiting on deck. Martin popped up to second, popped up to short, grounded to first, 0 for 3. The Giants and the Rockies won today, earlier. Time. Boy, you talk about big league pressure. Late in August, pennant race. It's all here. And now Molina going out to talk. La Russa's club had a comfortable 6-game lead coming in against the Cubs. But the Dodgers sorely threatened now by the Rockies and the Giants. And now Dave Duncan decides to go out and talk to Molina and to Franklin. Sometimes in football, you remember they'll make the place kicker sweat it out. Right now you wonder, are they making Loney sweat it out? Three and 2. We have come to this. And a drive into shallow left field, moving over is Holiday, and that's it. The Dodgers leave the tying run at second, and now you can hear it, the noise of the Rockies and the noise of the Giants. Cardinals 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors. Albert Pujols beats the